right, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, whatever time it is you're watching. I want to appreciate you all for joining. Get into today's live stream, irrespective of how we have the stream. I'm going to try as much as possible to ensure that we are having the best of sounds. I hope this, our light is. Okay, I think this is good. I think this is good enough for us to just go with for the day. Right. Yeah, I think so. We just need to get by where we are headed for today. And I think my end. Once again, I think I want to appreciate everyone for joining. And again, if you're in the live room, please drop a greeting. It's GM. We have a very great day ahead of us today. And yesterday, I also want to apologize for the bit of break in transmission, which I think we literally experienced at some point. And I want to believe that's not going to probably be the case for today's live stream. If you would bear with us, right? Yeah, we have so much to really catch up with as regards to marketing. Yes, for the day, I do think we are still in the loop of the part we initiated yesterday, which of course is analyzing the market and drawing a parallel with yeah, what had happened in the course of the old market session for the week. So today we're looking at how Bitcoin claimed 63k miraculously overnight, even though we had forecasted that. And also we are looking at what our analysis was like for yesterday's live stream. So indeed we had a stop loss on for yesterday, which is very much I wouldn't say unexpected, but sort of shockingly it happened, right? Let's just put it that way. I think I would love for us to discuss all of those differences, which is Bitcoin reclaiming 63k technical analysis, and what the weekly overview of the entire crypto market is like, so we can actually have a recap on that front. By the way, my name is David, and I'm super excited to always be being able to host people right in this live session. All right. So if you're watching, I really appreciate us, and I'm looking forward to we doing so much today because now we have energy on our side, and it feels kind of great. You can actually tell that already. Yeah. And so this is the live session we had yesterday. Let me turn on my window display capture so you could see that. So this was it. And talking, I don't know if that's a word we should use. A little bit, maybe not. But it's surprising to realize that BNB took that stop loss and it's apparently at that point. But again, we knew this was the likely thing Solana might be doing, right? So again, we had a clue, to what the market could likely do. Just a minute. I'm gonna put down the curtain. I'm just gonna be right back. Yeah. Okay, because I'm back, I just needed to fix that quickly. How we can what we're addressing. All right, so for me, I still think I'm gonna probably talk about what is probably gonna be happening this weekend, which might be the reason I might want us to close on this trade, because this is the likely thing that may be playing out this weekend. What do I mean by that? I'm expecting probably some weekend reversal, the Solana probably rising to $77, and you know that is looking to me likely. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna probably talk about why I think that could be the possibility. I'm gonna talk about that, and I hope you really understand, because based off the analysis we gave yesterday, I think it's not out of place to see the possibility and the certainty of that being the reality of what the market is going to probably be doing right now. I think so. Yeah, for me, that's pretty clear enough. And again, I think maybe I should also get our live stream going in the vertical on YouTube, so that folks will not only have the horizontal, and everywhere we can actually still be able to connect. Find our referral code if you're watching us on YouTube anytime. All right, I think that for me is also super profound, if you wouldn't mind me saying. I think that's going to make this live session holistic and better documented, for the sake of those who get to want to have the better feel or enjoy the perfect experience that we all are enjoying on KuCoin. And if you're watching us on the vertical, or well, I think it's not out of place for you to see that you join us right in the horizontal. I mean, on KuCoin, right? I think that's where you have a way more inclusive, way more inclusive, what do you want to call that right now, avenue to enjoy this live session, generally and in all front, right? I think that's gonna be like super important, if you don't mind me saying, right? So I think that's it. Okay, so that said, I think we can actually get going into what it is we really want to address for for the day. Yeah, so let's see if we already have every other thing that we really do need currently going on. Okay, I think I just want to get the encoder. Okay, for this, yes, I already got that, which is the streaming URL. Just a minute, please, guys. All right, I'm done with that right now. So for the weekend, I think there is a likelihood for us to see a reversal of a sort, if you don't mind me saying. Yeah, I think there is a possibility for us to see a reversal of a sort on the entire crypto market. I don't know. I'm thinking Solana, for instance, is going to probably rise, as we've analyzed here, some almost 3%, which is probably going to be explaining what Bitcoin is going to probably be doing. Also, if you'd face the truth for what it is, right? And again, this is just a fact. Okay, so from the beginning of the week, let's start with Bitcoin, so we can actually have a consistent analytical flow. Yeah, BTC, we've analyzed BTC to be a bearish market for the week. I mean, if you started with us on Monday, which again is a reason I'm going to probably be telling you to ensure you are following me on KuCoin, by so doing, you not miss out on anything that you're seeing the markets doing, because we almost get to know what's up, right, in relation with the likely playout of the markets, right? So I think that's pretty much what it is when it comes to what we do here, right? Yeah. So we made a forecast on the Bitcoin market, and our forecast is very much clear. Now, if you're wondering what our forecast was, I'm going to probably make it simple enough for you, so you could actually, find it easy to catch up, right? All right. Just wanted to check. Why is our network? Do we have a glitch? Please, if we have a glitch, let me know in the comment section. I'm trying to check what may be wrong on our end right here, right now. Okay. Just a minute. I'm trying to confirm if what we have right now is. Yeah, so we have a very great network. So what then could be wrong? Please, I'm just wanting to be for everyone for hear me well enough. Obrigada. Hi. I saw that greeting. Is that my fellow comrade? If you are my fellow comrade, let me know what you think in the comment section. But what is wrong with this? For God's sake, we have a very great network speed, and I don't know why this is. What then could be wrong, guys? Okay, I think network is just gonna be picking up as we get going, so we don't wait around sitting on that so far. So I think we had analyzed, I think that was on Monday, right? I think it was from somewhere around here that we expected the bigger market to remain bearish. And that since, I mean, you remember the analysis we took here, which was again the first trade that gave us very good profit on Wednesday, which is about the time we got the news release about the CPI, the consumer price index, and everything related to the federal rate. It became clear that the Fed, or the federal body in the US, were not going to raise, rates. And since that was the case, we expected a volatility that would take this immediate low. And of course, 63K was taken out. But again, I thought we'd be seeing a level of sell-off that should again approve or agree with the mirror of bearishness, permit that English, that we had expected. I think that was about the week where we explained price action. Everyone would join. I think that was the tab. So, well, clearly enough, if you don't mind me, being intentional with this recap, we did expected a bearish overlook for the whole week, right? So now, if you wouldn't mind, let me just turn everything blind, right? So you could see a naked chart. What you're seeing right here is this is last week, this is this week. So this week's candle hasn't yet closed, and I think when I'm looking at this candle right now with the comparative chart of Solana, I think my thought is really thinking it is possible this candle doesn't end as a sell. What do I mean? Now, I know we already sort of like from that big point, we caught the market move. Okay, sorry, this is not a weekly candle. Let's look at the weekly chart. All right, this is the weekly candle. I'm sorry, I was wrong there. So this is a weekly candle. Apparently, it's a sell. So this is a weekly candle. So I think what I was referring to the other time is that on the daily front, this daily candle is very much likely not to be a sell. What topic do we have today? Hello, Abdul. I'm doing great. The topic we have today is what we've called Bitcoin reclaiming 63K, right? And we're looking at technical analysis for today. Hi, Mary. Aha. So we're looking at technical analysis for today, and we're recapping the analysis we've made for the whole of the week. Very, very important. Yeah, and why do we want to look into that? Well, we think that's going to probably give us a point of reflection about what has happened because of this market week and in preparation for the next week's trade venture, right? It's important we take inventory of the trades that we ventured into in the course of the week, right? Because that's very much necessary for us to understand what again the market is probably going to be doing in the course of the week. God's sake, why is I'm sorry, but I'm getting something very much unlikely. Okay. See this, please. Okay, I think this is probably going to be picking up along the way. I'm just being hopeful that's going to probably be it. Okay. Fine. All right. I'm also going to probably be checking out stream on YouTube to confirm what is really going on. God, just help. Okay. So what do we have right here, guys? So we're explaining how that the daily candle on Bitcoin is likely to end as a buy for today. Um, and that buy most probably is, oh my god, just a minute. I think I don't know what I want to go check right there in the first place. So I was about to say in just a minute I want to go check the less connection, but again, everything is well fitted. Cannot tell where this lag is coming from, and it's guys, just a minute. I'm gonna be right back. Just have to rather check what I can do about this right now. Yeah. All right. I hope that's really got something. I just really do hope so. Okay, so anyways, let's just get into what we're doing all the same. So I was going to talk about the fact that I suspect this daily candle to close bullish, and again, that's not me saying the market's overall bullish. I'm going to do daily analysis, but I'm trying to do a weekly recap. From Monday week, 4.35%, because from the point of the weekly open to the point of the maybe the weekly closure is going to probably come in soon. That definitely will be tomorrow. About 3%, right? So, which again for me is fair enough, and that's very great, if you don't mind me saying. So I think for us now, all that we want to really, check in relation to what we are really wanting to do right now is where then are we expecting market to lead us to as regarding the market closure for the week. How can we take advantage of that this weekend? By the way, I often advise people to stay out of trading the market the weekends because there are ridiculous sell-offs that happen. So take for instance, let's look for some very interesting weekends. Looking at Saturdays, right? So because you get to see what had happened. For Saturdays till Sunday, from Fridays essentially. So you could see this was the whole move for this trade from here. Look here. Look at this candle week. Okay, let me use it different. All right, let me stick with this chart because I don't want to draw so much. That's why I'm saying I want to stick with a different chart. Let's look at this candle. This one that my cursor is on. This is a Monday, right, till a Thursday. There was a sell essentially. Apparently, you could tell from this point to this point, right? And when you look at this zone, you'd see something happen, right? From Friday, there was like a consolidation. Then again, Sunday, there was no further sell-off. Then the new week, there was a reversal. That began the reversal along. Again, this is not just my thoughts process. You could actually find time to do this research yourself. You'd see that oftentimes weekends are almost reversals or consolidations of what had happened in the course of the week. So now, if that logic stands, now, so let's in fact check for one more or more. So this is Friday, this is Saturday, then this is Monday, sell off. So the market began selling off from, when was that? Let's say Monday, went up like that and sold off. Then from Friday night and Saturday, a reversal. So you see, I don't know if you could see that right now. Let me just make it. This was Thursday, this was Wednesday, this was Tuesday, this was Monday. So Monday began as a sell, and of course on Friday, we tell that the market was a sell. But Saturday, we had a reversal, right? You see that? It went up like that way. Simple. It might not be consistent, but close to 73% of the time, you'd see that the weekends are reversal of what had happened because of the week. Anyways, not so perfect. And again, you might not be able to time where your entry will be, and of course the stop loss if you don't understand how you could adopt several trading strategies, maybe it's ICT Elliott or E levels, chart patterns into how you would be able to precisely, specifically make up your mind as to where your entry point and exit will be. Take profit or stop loss. Now, this is the second example, and again, you could check also. So most times when there are reversals, it's either there is an unusual market news or it's a weekend, right? Let's just put it that way, right? Or the market's is reacting to a key level. I think this is one of the things I just want to establish as we go on in this discourse. So my suspicion for this week is still likely to happen, which is that it is valid because it's going to probably be agreeing with this. What is the agreement? We saw an accumulation from Saturday on Solana of August the 8th, which apparently led into Monday of this week, right? An accumulation all the way till now that could potentially give us a manipulation from sub $76 to token on Solana till it rises to about 77, possibly, very possibly. So if that's the case, then I think everybody has to better come to the realization that if the manipulation happens, then the distribution will likely be what continues the following week. So while we are inspecting the price dynamic of Bitcoin and some other assets, it is because just a moment. So it is because we are wanting to ensure that we can tell what is likely to happen the following week, because we do weekly review, weekly recap, so we can do the next week's analysis, like making it simple enough, right? That's the idea of what we're doing. So now you could see why this is very important. Is that not so? Yeah, it is. So my suspicion is that Bitcoin is not only going to reclaim 63k. Take note. Now it's simple. You already understood the logic, because with all the massive sell-offs, guys, look at these candles, very huge candles. This low should have been taken this week. Why not this week? So that tells you that there is still an interest of market liquidity at stake. And let's just put it in perspective that some persons will understand. Let me turn on my chat. Oh my god, this is not so neat. Let me use a different chat. I'm going to come back there also. And of course, all of this chats on KuCoin, either it's on spot or yeah. I was going to just tell you that Monday, this particular low, this Monday low was never taken. So I was going to say that implies that there's a local demand level at this point. Hey, you just have to agree and admit that's what it is. That's what it is. There is no two way about it. So this local low is valid because if you see the market's reaction around this point tells that story clear enough. I'm going to probably make this simple enough for anyone who probably you're having a trade holding as a short. I would advise you go book a profit right now. And I'm going to probably be positioning for a longer Solana just because of what we see likely to play out here. Stop loss is going to be somewhere around the 74.726. Not a financial advice, all the same, but then I think that's likely to play out and of course happen. So yeah, why Solana? Because I think it's the one that gave us a clue of this likelihood when we analyzed the market yesterday. I want to apologize because there is no recap or replay of that because of how we had a terrific network glitch. I'm hoping today's live stream wouldn't encounter such confrontation and what have you, right? I'm really hoping that way. So that being said, can we just get going? Yeah, I think we can. So yeah. So again, we're seeing this while Bitcoin was at 63k. Mind you, it's already rising, and don't think that was just a buy word. So if you could actually plug it a long, I think it's not out of place. It's not out of place. Just gonna probably stop at that and just say, ensure that you understand that this is not financial advice. I'm just doing my bit of what I think the market is likely to do, because now Everyone's going to probably be saying, hey, you gave the call. Yes, I did, because of the available information I understood from the markets. And again, it's not a financial advice, so you just wouldn't hold my word for it or take, yeah, that kind of thing, right? I think you already got that. So, boy, oh boy, the network has to be good today. Like today that we're doing this live stream, and of course, intentionally, hello, we're intentionally trying as much as possible to put this out here and talk about what we think. I thank you, Daniel. What we think is potentially the thing that we want to see the market doing. Okay, so fine. Anyways, as we did mention, and no financial advice. Now let's just come to focus on today's analysis. So Bitcoin reclaiming 63k. It's one of the is just further further agreeing with the thought processes we had around the weekend reversals, and again, the likelihood for the market's interest to come to smash above 64k. And if you're going to be asking me, please, where do you think the market will eventually sell off? As you've mentioned, that there's the possibility for Bitcoin to reclaim 57k before eventually going to the all-time high, as you've forecasted. I mean, one thing about the market is you only have two things. You always have price and you have volume. That is second. So you have price, yes, and previous chart, or maybe price and price and market chart. So you have those two, but then when it comes to the exact timing, you would always have to be at the mercies of probability. No one has the actual certainty on when the market will eventually get into the expected point of execution that you're expecting to take your buy or sell off from. Okay, so since that is the case, then I can tell you for a fact that the only thing we could actually place our wager on is to just be patient with our analysis or trade execution, and that is probably going to be how we'll handle whatever it is that the market is probably going to do. So because we can only control one thing, and which is our stop losses. We can control if the market will take profit or not. And of course, another thing we could control is our interest in entering the market at any point in time. So that is clear enough. So I'm going to tell you once again, I don't think this weekend, not me speaking from the point of I know it all, but I don't think that the Bitcoin market for this weekend is likely to come below here. I don't think so. Why? Because all of the week it never happened, and I'm not saying that will happen now. I'm not thinking that will happen now. It could happen, maybe not now. Maybe when the market comes for this. And again, don't forget, we have an analysis waiting for the Bitcoin market to come right there. This happened, so it is very, very possible, in fact plausible, for us to see this being the situation that would eventually allow for the Bitcoin market to come into that level, right? I think that's it. So yeah, I think so. So if I'm going to be taking a long on Solana right now, of course, on the financial advice, which I'm going to probably be doing, I want to take it from about the point where it is at till it gets to above 77.3, right? So yeah, I think I've just plugged in a long on Solana. Already explained the thought processes yesterday, but I'm going to probably do a recap for those wages today and leave us with this for the week, if you don't mind me doing. I think that's also going to help us stay informed, right, about what we need to be looking out for as the new week rolls in. Right, I think that's it. Okay, so wide, what do you want to call that? Range. It's a range in market from this point. Okay, below this liquidity, and it rather gave what some persons would call almost a double bottom, right? So this is it. Let me just draw that. Yeah, I think that's an explanation to what that is. So thank you for following. If you've just followed us on KuCoin, and by the way, we are just appreciating our folks who are following us across board. So we saw that there was a big consolidation on a daily time frame, and that seemed to be the explanation to why the market hadn't gone above where it is at this point in time, right? And a part of us believes strongly that the market is only trying to discover price, and that the 63k level where Bitcoin was at is not only going to be held. Wait a minute, what if it doesn't hold? I'm also thinking about that right now. I don't know if you'd believe with me, but I'm going to probably get to confirm that with you in a moment. I'm going to run through some market news for us all to see together, and I think we'll from that point pivot back into our analysis. So I think rather that Solana is gonna, so why demand level, accumulation, following ICT's thought processes, then manipulation is what I'm predicting. And the reason is because for the whole of the week, which I mean you'd see on a daily candle chart, we literally had a consolidatory market where the market neither went up excessively or extensively nor down, even though it had reacted from this key level. So you could see this was a key level the market reacted from here, and that should have brought the market up, but then that didn't happen. And I think that not happening is another further proof that it just might not happen, right? Because every candle is a pulse for the whole market's possible outplay. So we already know what could or might not play out from how the market is printing each of its candles, right? So yeah, okay. I don't want to cancel all of the drawings I have here. Let's do a simple briefing on what is analysis. I don't know if you could spot this. I don't know if you could spot this, consolidatory liquidity pool, right? It's saying that you think the market wants to do around that point. I don't know what you think, but let me know. But again, I've told you guys, I've plugged in a long on Solana right about that same price where it was at 75.487-ish zone. Let me just tell you that for free. So I have a long on Solana here. The stop loss is going to be right here. So you know for yourself where my stop loss is at. I already explained my thought process and my logic. I might not be a conventional trader who draws some lines that might be your kind, but then I try to be way more logical in my own approach of trading the markets. Right, after all said and done, all that matters is to be profitable, I guess. And I cannot away. I'm gonna probably be waiting for the market's gonna probably be reacting to this point. And again, I must say it's not a financial advice. I'm only leveraging what I think markets like to be doing to spell the forecast. So we have an entry at 75.490. I think that's it. So just gonna be telling you for a fact, it is still not a financial advice. So what is happening here is maybe the market recapitulating, gathering momentum for it to continue selling off. But again, if it were going to do so, I think there are some points the market should actually get to. Why this particular eye? So look here and look close enough. This particular eye, no, let's start from this. This eye brought this low. This low brought this eye. Or maybe this eye. I don't know which one will give it. Let's say this one to this point. This one to this point. Then this eye frame, you would see what chart brought what. Alright, you would almost see them as a swing move to get out into the time. But on the 4-hour chart, which of course was where we came from, you would agree with me that there were certain stops. For example, this stop brought this low. This was a certain level of stop. So now this is it. The next push down, maybe not this, definitely this, because this is not a low, right? It dropped right there. And I'm gonna probably be considering this point possible lower high from this lower low. So this is a lower low. So what do I mean by lower low? It's a low formed after the previous market low. Yeah, that's it. So I was gonna probably write low there, right? And so if that still works, which I think it does, if you don't mind me saying, then what's going on with this network? All right, I think it's kind of going very well. All right, so I think this is it. Let's get into what might be the reason for why this has been, yeah, I think the live stream is now going better right now. Guys, let's get back. So the whole idea of this being a local high, or which this was a local low. Let me just take this one off. Which for us is a lower high. You know what that means? Yeah, you should. Meaning it's an high lower than the previous high in that certain trend. So it, for me, only buttresses the fact that we are going to explore the possibility of seeing a higher price dynamic on Bitcoin. Now this is it. If this is the high that led to this low, and this is a swing move, and even though we caught a sell here, good for us, but then that's not all it entails as to knowing what exactly the market is going to be doing. So this is our likely point of consideration for a sell here, which is $63,978, which is apparently higher than $63,000 where the market is at, and $48, which is move from this top down here is a swing move, and a second afterthought will be considering this point as a sell zone, which is here exactly 64.725 or 24 KuCoin price time on a price on Bitcoin. This is it. And if you're gonna be asking me what do I think is likely, I think if the market refuses to drop below here in the course of this whole week, which apparently is what it has done, I'm likely to be which is Bitcoin before eventually selling off. So don't be overly motivated or excited about taking a trade this weekend. By the way, you already should know it's a risky trade. I mean, every trade is a risky one, but then this particular one, because of the weekend, calls for you to be more careful because it's a reversal trading time for the whole of the financial markets, right? I think that's kind of primary for us to just state, right? Exactly. So my focus on Bitcoin is it's going to be bullish. Where exactly do we start buying from? I mean, I cannot be able to tell, but then I've analyzed on Solana, and the market reacting from this point for me, but proves that there was a bullish market, that there's a bullish intent the market is respecting, right? And of course, at close of business on Monday, the last week, and when we forecasted the possibility of Bitcoin coming for this point, and it refuses to take this low out, I knew that will just be the beginning of a new interesting price action for the new week. So what do you think? Solana is going to probably be the one that is going to bail the cat out of the bag, and that's for us to take a good trade. And so we've given a trade on Solana because we had a forecast yesterday on this, and we knew manipulation is not going to be happening. Not a financial advice, which again I would wish you all can actually place so much premium on the trade and watch what's going to be happen. But again, I think it's yeah, we'll learn something new about the market again, right? Yes, I'm trying to look at the market from a different lens. Let me look at it from Elliott Waves lens, so or trend lens. So if you have this, but so this is a downtrend, is that not so? So would you say there was a breakout of trend line at this point? See the market respected the trend to broke out right now, and it's been ranging after breaking out. Now, whatever would make up your mind to say, I mean, I think it just boils down to be able to tell clearly what the market is going to probably be doing. So let's put it in another perspective. If I were going to, let me check Solana on the chart just to help us analyze the market way more better. Let's draw a triangular pattern, guys. I don't know if you could see that. Does it ring a bell? I mean, I think it should, if you don't mind me saying. It definitely should. Because apparently you could tell that this is literally forming on the power chart a kind of calendar pattern after. Is that not so? I think it is. What thought process you have around that? Not financial advice. Again, I must still say, so, and if it's a triangular pattern, then I mean there are several school of thought. One of the school of thoughts believes that the breakout is likely going to be as the mirrored with of the bigger portion of the yeah, which implies Solana could break out from 75.8 and of course rise to $79 per token. And yeah, and by the way, you must believe that there are several sell-off liquidities waiting for Solana at that point, which again explains that there's almost nothing like it cannot happen. It sure can happen. This is from a lens that I mean, you might not find exciting to talk about, but then I think it works. So, I mean, I think this is it. I'm trying to make some very interesting, funny trade right now. I'm leveraging. I'm really leveraging, actually. But then this is it. It's what I think. So let me know what anyone thinks in the comment section. I'm going to probably run through that right now before taking a short break, and then I'm going to be right back to analyze our discussion and consolidate our thoughts as regard the weekly wrap up for the week. By the way, I think let's get back into looking at the market news for the week as I run through the comment sections and see what people are saying, because I think that's also very important for us in the course of every live session. So what do we have in the live room? Oh yes, this is it. What do we have? So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to be reading through the highlights we have for the weekend on CoinMarketCap. Actually, Paul Tudor Jones fem boosts. Paul Tudor Jones or Tudor's Jones fem boosts what? Boosts BlackRock Bitcoin ETF stake. Okay. Yeah, hello. I'm reading it through people's comments and what have we, just to be on the same page with them. think it's good for us to have it. Okay. So the next one we have, I'm gonna probably read through that. Paul Tudor Jones firm boosting BlackRock Bitcoin ETF stake. Recognized stockholders more than double as monthly volume rises. By the way, I just don't know why every stock is now being tokenized. Now, don't mind me, because I know everyone's thinking, what are you thinking? Is that not going to be like a great bullish reality or rationale for the entire world class of investors in stock market, and probably boost the whole crypto cap market capitalization, and of course essentially improve the quality of what anybody's thinking, right? I mean, I think it's out of place. It isn't out of place. Oh boy. It isn't. So when you think of the fact that it just isn't out of place for you to have these thoughts around the market, then I think everyone begins to make sense of what I am trying to also look into. Because right now it might just be another slop that is being fed into people that necessarily would not contribute anything meaningful into the cause of the crypto markets eventually. Anyway, so this is what we have. Binance next. Binance founder, thank you for the greeting. Binance founder says it suggests Bitcoin's effective supply is smaller than headline numbers show. All right, probably just some another news. Or what do you think? Easy point to 20.07 million mined Bitcoins, and hidden scarcity factor that could tighten Bitcoin's recirculating supply. I'm gonna probably check that out, but again, nobody thinks. I mean, I think nobody needs to be told that Bitcoin supply is really shrinking quickly, and the difficulty to accessing mined Bitcoin is terribly, exponential, terribly increased, right? It's terribly exponential. So in essence, there is high chance that, of course, from that, structure or deflationary model, Bitcoin is going to be priced at an higher price in days to come. Unfortunately for Ethereum, I was looking at the post on X by Kyle. By the way, I hope you're not going to probably think of him as some, what do you call that, as some third party, because it's one of these guys that talks about crypto generally. Anyways, I'm not referring to him, please. It's not a financial trader. In what way? In fact, it's messed trading analysis up multiple times that I think I know. But interestingly, he has a lot of money that most of us can think of, I think. So, I mean, well, he made a post and I found that post very much intriguing. He was going to probably call himself out and speak something which I think is interesting. And most people are thinking of in the crypto market. So let me just run through that so you guys could see. Yeah, this is it. So I saw this. It says, crypto, quote, Carl says this, crypto killed so many dreams in 5 years. So 2021 was a bull market. You know that what I'm saying? Bitcoin was 67K. So look at this video. I mean, look at this image. Bitcoin was at 67K. Ethereum on 4,800. And Solana 260. Doge $0.72. Cardano $3. Litecoin 370. Avalanche or Avax 140. But now think of it. Bitcoin is 66K, almost at the same price where it's at. Apparently, after getting to 126K, unlike Ethereum, which everyone had forecasted will get to 10K, and sadly, meagerly was able to smash $5,000. Right? I mean, I'd seen several comparative images on X and several social platforms about Ethereum, and it turned out that some food commodities as potatoes, in the US outperformed Ethereum. Anyways, just a very random joke. But again, I think that's is one of the ways people are able to relate to the fact that there's something just off about this bull run. Anyways, it's a good one. Many people made money, but again, many people lost their money in this 2023, 24, 5 bull market, right? Why? Ethereum never made some crazy all-time highs. BNB went well. I think some coins also, exchange coins, yes, I believe. But Solana really didn't do exceptionally well. Dogecoin, I don't think so. Navax, I think terribly. So in fact, Litecoin never made it back to its all-time high, let alone making a new all-time high. So think of this, right, and begin to ask yourself, do you think altcoin is a way going forward in crypto? So this is a moment of reflection. That's why we're doing this, reflective discourse and a weekend review. Why? Because it sort of makes us to again evaluate what are the thought processes we have around our trade or whatever it is we're doing, and really itemize our focus. Trust me, itemizing our focus on what really should be profitable. Right. So the weekly recap is not just about technical analysis. We've done analysis, and I think as it stands, we've taken a long on to learn. I think I told you guys already. Right now, I think that's no more a big deal. Wait. Yeah. So I think for me, this is it. So looking at this right now, I think everyone is as clear as day. Is that not so? Everyone is as clear as day on the fact that, okay, fine. So if I were going to check, I'm going to probably do the backdoor. AVAX USDT. The pricing. What do I get in AVAX? So AVAX on a weekly time frame, checking or going through the all-time high of 2021, brought AVAX to guess where? Literally half of that price, $64. I'm saying, do you think there's gonna be like super bull on altcoin tycoon? So what do you think is the next big thing that really should matter? So come with me back to the chart right now. I think I'm done showing you what I wanted to show you right here on Carl's posts. I think that's it. I'm gonna probably be done with one or two more news to read to you here. When I'm done reading this news, Ethereum's dynamic path where the market bounce or plunge. So Ethereum already gave the whole story and the whole clue as to the coin that will really perform. Now, of course, you all know that when it comes to performing, Bitcoin might do a 100% or 150% and make a new all-time high, and Ethereum might do a 250% and never make a new all-time high. You all know because of the level or the depth to which it dips, its recovery, sort of gives more money, right? But again, with that comes the illusion and temptation of everyone thinking, Ethereum is likely to make likely to make a new all-time high, and of course everyone becomes pessimistic about taking their profit on time and then quickly wanting to hold onto their dear life at times when it's not really going to be favorable. So I'm saying all of this right now so everyone should begin to introspect more and face the truth about what it was that is responsible for their non-profitability because of the last bull cycle. All right, so since that for me is the case, and I think can we just get going? And I'm gonna probably look into live room. So I'm seeing a lot of great things, a lot of people joining the live stream. Thank you for following. I really do appreciate you all for following me here. I do. Now we have 66 followers in just less than a week, and I think we could actually do 1,000 in less than 2 weeks. I mean, exponential growth. I think that's the best word to go for in explaining what it is I am expecting. Okay, guys. Now, Defi Lama founder trained his own wallet to get Apple to pull a fake app. What? Is that true? Probably gonna be checking that. By the way, in another news, hype is really performing well. You might just not believe it. I'm not joking. So this is one. I think if you ask me, so what is the leading decentralized exchange? It is Hyperliquid. The native token is Hype. Hey, no one is going to probably be praying or wishing or desiring that Hyperliquid's DEX gets drained. If that happens, it's one of the doom days in crypto. Trust me, it's a fact. So anyways, this news you have right now. What's the news? Multicoin, capital position in Hype exceed $100 million. So they're investing in Hype, and this is serious investment in Hype. The name, the platform they have, and several other things really has brought so much attention to them. I think they're really doing well in the way they've positioned so far. So Multi-Capital has invested more than $100 million in the Hyperliquid Hype token, a 90-figure allocation that puts fresh focus on institutional conviction in one of the most closely watched assets in decentralized trading. And for me, that's it. That's it. So that tells the whole story about what IP is, and of course what Solana blockchain is for the long term investment. So I think Solana blockchain might still actually very well perform better than every other blockchains. So by the way, guys, I hope you're in the long on Solana. I mean, I did mention that. Let me take a short break, then come back to consolidate our thought. So I think that primarily has explained all we really wanted to talk about for these weeks. Yeah, and of course the David Lemma drain. David Lemma found out draining his own wallet to get Apple to pull a fake app. What does this have to say? Ox NGMI, the pseudonymous founder of DeFi analytics site David Lemma, that he downloaded a fake David Lemma app from the App Store, funded a small wallet, and let the app steal the money as proof it was a scam. Wow. The fake David Lemma app from the App Store. So the David Lemma app, one of these. So Apple removed the app just days after its download after ignoring a amount of trademark and impersonation complaints. So I think that's one of the latest news you have so far on X, and I think people really people vibe coded a copy of David Lemma application and literally get that app hosted on Apple, and apparently that person has been using that to run some app scams. Anyways, please, I'm going to probably state this right now: be on the lookout for scams. Interestingly, and it's so sad, I suffered a scam last 2 months. Maybe not today. We're going to talk about that because I mean, I was just wondering, I've never been interested in anything that is scammy. I've never been excited about anything that is marketed, or no. But again, you might be so conscious and still lose close to $3,000-4,000. That's a lot of money in a country any day. Maybe not to some persons, but yeah, stay safe. I'm gonna probably say that. We're gonna come back looking at the trade right now we've called on Solana, and I think I would love to know what you are thinking once I'm back. Until then, the locked. I'm just gonna grab a cup of water, and then we'll wrap up our discussion, showing you where Solana is at, and then we draw the curtains for today's live session. Thank you. Just a 2 minutes or 1 minute break. I'm gonna be right back. Yeah. right, I think we just need to, kind of prepare to wrap things off quickly now. Okay, guys. So what's up with this Lana trade we did called, and what then is the outcome of every of the analysis we've made so far, as this bullish platform believes that we are really wrapping days off in the bearish market and already switching bullish. The old news right now, none of these seems to speak so much about a bearish market. None. There is no brain of any sort. Rather, we are seeing more tokenization of stocks. I mean, apparently we're seeing, CZ apparently speaking about how limited and small and tight the Bitcoin supply is. That's very bullish. I mean, you must understand what, psychology has really been unspoken of right here. Ethereum's dynamic path, probably some analysts giving some analysis on Ethereum. Definitely Mark founder calling out a possible scam ring on Apple Store, right? And Apple taking a swift action to curb those bad actors. Multi-coin capital investing over $100 million in Liquid's hype token. That news, and several of such news really, speaks of a quite bullish market shaping internally within the old crypto market. And of course, here you have Ethereum stock under $1,920 as ETF inflows end. Bitmain holds 5.81 million. Anyways, not too much news about bearish, as we have more about bullish. Anyways, so I think I wanted to pay attention to the thought process and all of those around the market news while we come to seeing the price dynamic we analyzed, or we gave us a forecast about Solana for this week. I think for me, really need to understand what the market dynamic is on Solana. So this is what you have. Let's see this. So quickly, the analysis we gave is Solana is going to rise into $78 per token, forming manipulation, and then possibly distributing next week. Now, I'm not saying it will, but as it stands now, that's all we have as a visual picture of what the market is going to probably be doing. And we leveraged ICT AMD as a play out of this, or an analysis on this, or as a way of understanding and explaining what the market is doing, while also seeing the price action of BNB, which was of course the asset we analyzed yesterday, and apparently we got stopped out, as we have just seen. So we're thinking about 4 trades. I think BTC, we had a win. Let me just run through that trade right now and tell us the trade we've taken this week, and of course wrap that off by telling how much of. So we took BTC, we had a win. BTC, we had a win also on Pipin. We took Pipin, a meme, right? You could check our live stream. We took a trade on BNB shortly. I think that was day before yesterday. We had profits, and then we had a BNB short yesterday where we had a loss, and that was it. Currently, we're on a Solana long over the weekend because we think the reversal is going to probably be a buy shortly, making Bitcoin to probably climb into 63,500-ish zone, or almost 64K-ish zone, as we prepare for a new weekly candle, probably opening around 64K again. And so that might already push Bitcoin from 64K to 64,900 or 65,200 before the final drop down, if it eventually gets to do that. But again, this is our whole analysis for this week, and I'm super excited to be able to have this session with us. Again, I would love to know if there are questions in the comment section. And to see if there are thoughts we want to pass across, which I think for me is probably going to make us improve better on the quality of our deliveries and make everyone everywhere keep being profitable with KuCoin. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, I want to appreciate you. Noticed Mary responded, and Daniel, thank you both for joining. I appreciate you all, and everyone who gets to watch this, I'm appreciating you too, and I'm looking forward to having you dropping your comments or questions, which again will be answered appropriately at the right time. And I want to say you have the link already in the live chat. I'll probably be dropping that also right now. You can use that link to download KuCoin, one of the leading exchanges that I know of for years, that has its integrity, and I don't think at any point I've heard anything related to a hack on KuCoin. So I mean, you can always look that up and confirm, but that's what I think. By the way, I can assure you that joining our live sessions and trading with us, you're going to regret it. Of course, educational, but also informative. And I want to say thank you for joining us today on the 15th of August 2026. I want to quickly drop this sign up link for those who might be watching on already. The bot dropped it, but so you could be able to click. I'm dropping that also right away now on the live rooms on YouTube. So thank you guys. Choose KuCoin, keep winning, keep trading, and I'm going to be seeing you on to the next, maybe Monday. I think today is Saturday, West Africa time anyways. So stay safe, have an happy weekend, and refresh and keep winning. Don't forget to stick trade carefully. Your stop loss for this Solana trade is 74.935 KuCoin price. Take profit is 77.56 or 78.16. Again, the profit you take is what is yours, and don't be emotional about taking profits. Peace out. Again, good night. Bye.